was 3 in the morning. We had gathered in a wadi, a kind of gully where water flows only during the winter rainy period, remaining dry for the rest of the year. We were cleaning our weapons, an incredible mixture of every quality, but in perfect working order. It was not the usual Mod 81 or M38 rifles of our supply, but rather a Beretta machine gun spitting fires, our machine guns and some war-prey Thompsons. In the meanwhile, someone was gnawing tough biscuits soaked in water or anise, others were eating some canned meat or nearly moldy bread, just to refresh themselves after a day of hard and bloody fight that had cost the lives of about 60 boys of our company. All around you could still smell the acrid and peculiar smell of burnt dust of the previous battle. The echo of painful cries of the wounded and the dying still resonated in our ears under an exceedingly serene and starry sky. We were preparing to regain the summit lost during the previous day's fight. No one was speaking. We were gathered close to each other. Someone was looking around, perhaps figuring out who to address a word to, but no one noticed. Many pretended instead to be very busy, just to be left alone, but possibly all of them were thinking about friends and comrades they would never see again. This is the beginning of my dad's war diary and of the novel I wrote out of it after interviewing Dad on his deathbed. I wrote the book to let English-speaking readers enjoy my father's legacy made of war-related stories, love, hope for the future, resilience. The story, successfully published in Italy in 2010, is now available in English, improved and enriched, and ready for you to enjoy. An Italian national newspaper, La Stampa, wrote that it is one of those rare stories that make you suffer and smile. Maybe you'll suffer and smile too, possibly figuring it, your own fathers and grandfathers, as my dad wished. My late dad, an Italian veteran in North Africa, World War II campaign, then a prisoner of war and an US Cooperator, struggled to no avail till his death to find some people from the opposite side he had made friends with. Enemies just on account of different uniforms. He would have liked them to watch their own war experiences from the perspective of an enemy soldier, as my dad had been, a soldier who appreciated them after all. That's why, 11 years ago, feeling his death approaching, he told me his story, asking me to please write in English as well as in Italian, in order for a former so-called enemy to be able to read it and hopefully recognize him. It is a true story told to a son by an old dying father about himself as a boy who in February 1942, barely 18 years old, volunteers in the Italian army just because he wants to see Africa. Anyway, it is not only a war account. It's a story of a boy growing up, told by an old father to his son. The protagonist recounts his adventures in order for his son to write a book someone who fought for or against him might have the chance to eventually recognize himself in or identify with, whatever their national flag. It's a war novel about an anti-hero soldier wearing two uniforms, Italian and American, like a modern Barry Lyndon. fighting as a volunteer in Libya and Tunisia, then a prisoner of war after the Battle of Amphideville, a cooperator with the Americans in Algeria, Normandy, Paris and Marseille, at work in camp hospitals all over France and the Flanders, bewildered and nearly unrecognized when he gets back to his hometown Alba in Italy with his American uniform on. My dad returns to France as a paperless migrant, walking at night on mountain paths to go and work at the reconstruction of railroads for the French National Railways, SNCF, and grow up in life, because ripeness is all, as Shakespeare went in King Lear. Stories related to war intermingled with amusing flashbacks in a country village back in Piedmont, Italy. The end of the protagonist's story as a young man is also the end of my dad's life, grown old and ill with cancer, eager to hand his secret memories to his son. This is a novel based on true and verifiable facts, now ready for English-speaking readers to enjoy. Now I'm trying to give voice to it. It's my old dad's message in the bottle. I hope it may move people from other countries too, in order to fulfill my father's last wish. Thank you so much.